You see this? I know you see that. I know you see that. Oh, embarrassing. I'm so embarrassed. But I need help. I really do. There's a link in my bio if you want to go help. Also, have you ever been an internet celebrity and tried to get a job? Okay.
Okay, so Jools Lebron, the creator behind Very Demure, Very Mindful, just asked her 2 million followers for $45,000 to fix her teeth. And people were not having it.
Very demure, very successful, period.
And once you look at how much money she was making at her peak, what happened after that, and the things she says she owns now, you can understand why people had questions. But I think this blew up as badly as it did for another reason too. People are tired of influencers, and this GoFundMe came at probably the worst time ever.
I just wanna rewind, I haven't seen you in a long time.
Jools Lebron is 32 now. Back in 2022, before any of this, she was working as a cashier at Mariano's, a grocery store chain in Illinois, and posted a video basically begging makeup brands to send her PR so she could start a review channel and finally quit that job. So wanting out of a normal job wasn't something virality created in her. That was already there before any of this started. She'd been talking about being done with the 9-to-5 grind well before the Very Demure ever existed.
Okay, so this is day 2 of me asking makeup companies to send me PR so I can start a makeup review TikTok and give you the real tea on all your favorite makeup products like I'm already doing and getting millions of views for. Think about it. Just think about it. Just think about it for 10 seconds. Come on. Come on. Look at me. There's literally people here. Come on, I want to quit this job. You guys aren't letting me. Let me quit this job already.
Then, in August of 2024, while she was still working that same cashier job, a 38-second video about being demure and mindful at work exploded, with over 51 million views. Celebrities even doing their own versions, an appearance on Jimmy Kimmel.
Look, very demure.
And dictionary.com naming demure its word of the year. Within days, total strangers were filing trademark applications trying to claim her own catchphrase before she could. She got a legal team, filed her own trademarks, and the internet mostly rallied behind her at the time. In an interview she had with Tamron Hall, she said the brand offers changed almost overnight, from $2,000 a video to $45,000, then $60,000, then $85,000 from some of the exact same brand. In her own words, that was more money than her entire family had ever seen combined.
Because now it wasn't, oh, we'll give you $2,000 for a video. It was $45,000 for a video, $85,000 for a video. Everything taken care of, everything paid. Right. And it's coming from some of the same brands that were paying me $2,000.
And once you've publicly said you were getting offers as high as $85,000 for one video, people are obviously going to remember that when you later ask them for $45,000. They're going to do the math, whether that's fair to her current situation or not. By her own account, that sudden money and fame led directly into substance abuse.
Hi, I'm Jools Lebron. I went viral. I'm for Very Demure, Very Mindful. And it was the highlight of my life. It also was the worst time of my life ever. Mega virality and a Charlie XCX sponsorship did lead to substance abuse, believe it or not.
She talked openly about buying sprees at 4 in the morning, an $8,000 supercomputer. She says her producer convinced her she needed an apartment she doesn't like discussing because of what she calls, in her own word, a kind of psychosis. She also talked about getting sober, partly because of her cats, saying she didn't want their home to stay in disarray. I'm not bringing this up to excuse everything that came after. I'm bringing it up because she's talked about it openly herself. And going from a regular job to making more money in a single week than your whole family has seen ever can obviously mess with someone's head.
I bought this, and those, and that. The producer convinced me that I needed a supercomputer, so I bought, girl, literally, like an $8,000 supercomputer. And my biggest fear is that once those kittens get big, they're gonna be all over all my shit. And I'm not gonna be able to like keep track of it or be able to maintain that because there's mess everywhere. Because like, look at this. This is like a $900 camera and tripod. You know what also is over here? Another $900 camera. You know what's also over here? A microphone that I paid for. That was $300. It's like I kept buying stuff to convince myself I was like a full-time content creator, and then I came out with no content.
In a clip from May, she directly addressed critics bringing up her assets. And instead of denying them, she confirmed them that she had a 2023 G-Wagon, a 2026 Ford Focus, an entire apartment building, 4 Louis Vuitton bags. Her framing for that was this was actually restraints. She didn't buy a newer G-Wagon. She only got 4 bags, not 5. Check yourself. That's what she said. That's the moment a lot of people point to now, because owning a G-Wagon, my dream car, an apartment building, and multiple designer bags, while calling it modest, is a genuinely hard sell to an audience that's about to be asked for tens of thousands of dollars a few months later.
Oh, like the divas, I feel like you guys have the wrong idea. Like, it wasn't that I misspent my money, and that's why, like, I'm a struggling influencer. Like, okay, yeah, I got a G-Wagon, but it wasn't even a 2024. It was a 2023. And for you guys to tell me, oh, maybe you could sell that and get like a cheaper car. I also got a Ford Focus, a 2026, but still, I'm modest. You know, I didn't just get any kind of property. I bought an entire apartment building, you know? I did things moderately. I didn't do crazy big things. I didn't say, let me buy this big house and let me get, you know, the newest G-Wagon. Let me get 5 Louis bags. I only got 4. So check yourself.
Which brings us to now. She launched a GoFundMe asking for $45,000, explaining her teeth were severely damaged from her addiction, that she had already spent $6,000 trying to fix it herself, and that getting a regular job realistically wouldn't help her situation given her visibility. That last line is what sets people off the most, since it read to a lot of people like she was placing herself above the basic advice anyone else in a situation like that would get. The backlash was very fast and loud enough that she deleted the fundraiser video within days, issued refunds, and announced that she was stepping back from TikTok, saying she was fooling herself thinking the platform would ever favor her the way it did during her peak. And this is where her responses started making things worse. She would say, "I'm not above getting a job," and then immediately explain why getting a regular job doesn't really apply to her situation. Then she would say she isn't an entitled rich influencer, while also arguing that people criticizing her couldn't understand because they've never had her level of visibility. That's why a lot of people felt like she was proving the criticism while trying to also deny it at the same time.
It's not that I think I'm above getting a job. I will get a job. I'll get a regular ass job, trust me. But it's also like, if I got a regular job, bitch, I still can't afford dental implants. Like, that's the truth of the matter. That's the truth of the matter. If I went to go work at the Wendy's right now, I can't afford dental implants still. Let's be real. I'm not gonna go work a regular job. And also, realistically, let's be real here. A lot of you guys haven't had the rise to virality I've had. A lot of you guys are telling me to go get a job and you've never been in my position. Let's be real. You've never been in my position. You've never been as visible. You've never had celebrities know who you are. You've never had the world know who you are. You've never been able to leave your house and not be recognized. You're not me. That's not a read. That's the truth.
Saying you're not entitled and then explaining why the normal rules don't apply to you isn't really a defense. I would say that it's not all one-sided. She's also said publicly that a beauty brand tied to a Patrick Tar beauty launch flew her out at the height of her virality and used her and the very demure trend to promote their product without paying her, even though other creators at the same event were compensated. So it's not like every brand relationship actually paid what people assume. And that's a fair, real complication to the idea that she's swimming in easy money from every direction.
Take a shower, so, you know. But if I'm gonna be real with you, it's not even the fact that he didn't pay me, because we didn't have a contract. The fact that we didn't have a contract is part of the problem. Like, the first time I spoke about this, it traumatized me because everyone made it seem like it's my fault. The person who was 3 days into virality, and not the fault of the industry professional. Because after doing many events directly after that and getting paid for that, and realizing that I was shorted a good 30K, yeah, I'm upset about it. But I was okay because, hey, we didn't have a contract. Like, he knows he should have paid me. His team knows he should have paid me. I know he should have paid me. We didn't sign a piece of paper that said so, though. So, hey, I'm going to charge it to the game. What infuriated me, though, was the same week this event happened, I'm doing big brand deals, and a page tags Patrick Ta amongst other brands and is like, Jools Lebron is able to like fund her transition and get a new like house like because of this viral moment. People are like literally tagging Patrick Town and like, thank you for supporting the dolls. Like, thank you for paying our queen. And he replies to the comments, we love to support the dolls. So he's like making it seem to other people that he's paid me. That truly deeply pissed me off.
Also, currently, people are exhausted with influencers right now because of the years of this fake manufactured sincerity and the sponsored content, and watching creators live visibly lavish lives while constantly asking for something. Attention, engagements, purchases has left a lot of audiences with no patience left. So when a creator with a documented $85,000 a video, a G-Wagon, an apartment building, 4 Louis Vuitton bags, comes to ask us, the viewers, for $45,000, she is not just being judged based on her own story. She's absorbing everybody's built-up frustration with the influencer culture at the exact moment she was already vulnerable. And if we're being honest, the economy right now is genuinely brutal for the average person. A lot of people can barely survive on one job, let alone save anything for an emergency. And most of the people donating to fundraisers like this aren't wealthy themselves. They are regular followers with regular jobs, giving what they can, partly out of a real parasocial attachment. And a lot of them are struggling with their own version of the exact same thing. Dental problem they can't afford, mental issues they've been putting off, medical bills sitting untouched because there's just no extra money. Some of her audiences she's asking for money are honestly dealing with worse than what she's asking for help with. Most people in that position don't have 2 million followers to ask. They just quietly go without. So when someone with a documented history of high-paying brand deals, a G-Wagon, asks the same audience that's privately struggling with their own unaffordable dental and health problems, the frustration isn't about $45,000 specifically. It's about who gets a platform to ask and who doesn't, and how unfair that gap already feels before anyone even gets into the specifics of her story. Not to think too deeply into this, but I feel like there's also a real power dynamic at play. Even without her forcing anyone to do anything, which is what some of her fans are saying, she's not holding a gun to anyone's wallet, right? But she is the only one in this relationship with a direct line to 2 million people at once, and each individual follower doesn't have anything close to that reach for their own struggle. So I feel like there's also the quieter pull of actually feeling connected to someone you followed for years, not wanting to be the person that didn't show up for them. She is not forcing them to donate, but I feel like it's not a fully neutral choice either. But maybe that's just me overthinking this whole thing. And that is why it feels off to me specifically, knowing the opportunities that she's already had. $85,000 for a single video, brand deals, dictionary.com's word of the year. That's a level of access most people watching would genuinely never see once in their entire lifetime, let alone within a couple of years. So asking the same audience who has never had any of that for help with a problem plenty of them are also quietly dealing with without any of her opportunities behind them is where the imbalance sits for me. But anyway, I don't think you have to pick one side here. I can believe that the addiction was real and the damage to her teeth is real, while also thinking asking followers for $45,000 was a bad decision, given everything she had shown publicly about her money and assets. Those two things can exist at the same time. And I think the real reason this got as big as it did isn't really about Jools specifically. It's about an audience that's tired of an influencer culture in general and struggling with their own version of exactly what she's asking for help with. She didn't create that frustration, she just happened to be the one standing in front of it when it finally came out. But that's it for this video. I'm done talking. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe. I'm Angel Off Record, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!